live with your growth. Don't be afraid of your regrowth. Don't be afraid of your regrowth, because Knotted Locs teaches you how to take care of your regrowth. If you come across someone who's learned Knotted Locs and are struggling with their regrowth, it's just a reflection of them. It's absolutely nothing to do with your personal experience. Your personal experience, if you go in and every day you do it a bit at a time, like I do my hair every day, like this, that's how I separate my locks every day, then I can live happily. Sometimes people get lazy and don't take care of their growth. They might struggle with it, but it's going to be up to them to recover. I just want you to see how fabulous it is to live with your growth in these small tubes. Love it. I'm so proud of this moment where I can show you close up of what it could be like for you.
Choose Knotted Locs.
It's changing lives.
It's been an honor to teach within my community globally my practice, my way of living with my African texture hair in small size locks. When I teach you my Knotted Locs practice, I teach you a way of life that for me pours into other spaces of my life. It's a metaphor for how I live. And when I hand you my knowledge, I hand you a version of what I practice, and then I let go. I've always believed in when you teach, you should be able to let go and enable that person to evolve into whatever version of what you've taught them. They evolve into it and they create their own version of how they want to look after their locks, how they want to care for their locks. This is close up of my locks. 6 years on, me knotting my hair, and I love color, and I just couldn't put chemical through my thin, light strands. I show you close up for you to understand the real density of my hair, and if you go back, you will see the real density of my hair. Now, let me explain something. 6 years down the line, I'm doing a lot more than I'm teaching. I'm experimenting a lot on my hair. One of the things I realized about my hair is that I can't achieve chubby, chunky, small size locks. My hair was always thin with the interlocking practice. And with me knotting my hair, I am able to double up and thicken up my size. But that's a personal preference to me. And I'm able to thicken it up 2 times the density, or even 3, sometimes even 4. Because the top part of my hair is thinner than the rest. And I'm able to, with patience, create a chunkier finish. So I show you close up to show you a version of what I do, but please bear in mind, this is 6 years later. This is according to my preference and also the way my strands react to the way I'm knotting my locks. This is a really important information to share with you. When you come across people who've learned Knotted Locs, who maybe they're posting about how they celebrate Knotted Locs, or they're posting about how they struggle with Knotted Locs, both are reflecting their relationship. Once I let go, I'm there for an advanced session. I'm there to support. But once I let go, and I can't micromanage, those people are responsible for the relationships they form with their hair. I don't get to dictate, because I always explain, Knotted Locs is not Sisterlocks. Knotted Locs is a methodology to sustain maximum locks fullness, optimum hydration, and 100% hygiene. Great hygiene. That's why Knotted Locs is there. The version of how you take care of Knotted Locs is up to you. And so when you speak about your relationship with your hair, practicing Knotted Locs, you speak about the way you trust yourself. Because all I'm doing is reminding you of the fact that you have the dormant knowledge. You have everything you need. Your hands are there. You can create your small size locks. A version of that you create is reflective of you and your relationship with your hair. It has nothing to do with me, because as I say to my clients, I step away. I do your hair twice, 3 times, 4 times a year. I try not interfere, and then the rest is up to you. That's the same way I teach. If you come to me, I will help you and I'll support you, of course, because I absolutely am passionate about this topic of self-empowerment. But if you don't come to me and you're struggling, I wouldn't know. And because of the busyness of my work, I cannot chase everyone. Please bear in mind, as Knotted Locs is growing and I'm teaching more people, I obviously am showing you close-up of my hair, but you can't see a replica of my hair. It's not possible because I'm 6 years ahead and I'm doing a lot more with my Somebody knots. Else will just stay at that level that I taught them and they're absolutely fine. Another person would advance themselves onto the second stage, the second level, and do something slightly different. I'm not the one telling them to do that. That's their intuition. That's their mindset, because I've opened up a dormant part of their headspace. And now they realize, wow, I can do this with my hair. I can do that with my hair. It doesn't mean you have to copy exactly. So what I love about Knotted Locs is the fact that you can't replicate it. Everybody's relationship with their hair, everybody's hair texture, the characteristics of their hair, everybody's nature of how they knot is different and diverse and individual to them, which is what I was looking for. When I was looking for a solution, an alternative to Sisterlocks, what I was looking for is to have a hairstyle, like when you have braids, when you have your different hairstyles, it looks different from the rest. It doesn't look exactly like. And how I felt about Sisterlocks is the partings were the same, the grid was the same, sizing, that straight look. I did not want it for me. And I felt like if I existed, a version of me must exist in the world. So I show you a version of Melissa. And if you're drawn to it, wonderful. I support you into practicing the way I practice, because ultimately it's about peace of mind and self-love and self-empowerment. And as I always say, how that looks is special and unique to you. Let me explain something. If I had an issue with Knotted Locs and I switched on my video, my camera, and I started recording complaining, what am I complaining about? It's equivalent to complaining about YouTube or complaining about social media. Social media is a vacant, empty platform. And what you choose to share with it on that platform is reflective of you, your ideology, your mindset, your response to yourself. I have introduced you to a practice where you take over and look after your hair. And so it's up to you, the version of you that you want to show up. It's up to you how you choose to communicate when you have challenging moments, because we all are supposed to be challenged. Like, I'm challenged all the time because I work with clients and I work online. And I have my own life and I have my hair. You know, if you show up and you complain about it, then you feed more complaining. If you show up and you love what you're doing and you're absolutely comfortable and forgive yourself with every error, every mistake, every lesson, every challenge. How am I dealing with my strands? Are they tangling a bit? Oh, I've placed this knot here and I need it to be a bit more, but I'm all right like this. I'm happy to learn. If you're super comfortable and happy with your imperfection, because you're perfectly imperfect, then you will have the best time ever with your hair, because your hair doesn't curl in the same way throughout the zones of your hair. It curls different, your strands are different, your textures are different. Some of us have 4 or 5 different textures on our one head. We are not perfect, but we need to recognize and allow ourselves to explore the diverse nature of how we learn, how we form our relationships, and when we get challenged, how do we deal with our challenges? Do we complain? Do we try and bring people into our world of complaint? Or do we take ownership and responsibility and go, I did that. I'm accountable. This is why I'm doing this. This is why I'm doing that. I'm going to improve. So that's what this moment is about. I share with you my personal journey. If you're uninspired, wonderful. That's great. You have an opinion. You walk away from it. It's not an option for you. Knotted Locs has been created as an alternative, as an option. It's not exclusive. It's not a hairstyle. It's a method of hair locking for your Microlocs, your Microlocs with extensions, your braid locks, your tiny locks, your fine locks, your delicate locks, your sister locks. You can call it whatever you want to call it. But my practice to maintain my clients' sister locks, and I also talk about not endorsing a grid or not serving a grid. And the reason why I don't serve a grid is because I like changing up and switching up the hair as to when, whatever it needs and what the client would like. So I want to have that freedom of movement. So that's why I don't have a grid. But it's up to you what you want to do with your hair. I don't make the rules. You make the rules. So whatever version of that you want to show up, you must take ownership of it. I hope it's clearer as I show you my hair and I explain my purpose of how and why Knotted Locs continues to grow, and I continue to teach it, and I continue to work with clients on a one-on-one. I hope you get what you need to be inspired. To look at your hair and think, I've got a full head of locks, but I want it to be a bit more interesting. I want the relationship more interesting. I don't want it to be stagnant. I don't want it to be repetitive. I want to be free to choose when I want to do what I want to do. Wet, oil, relock. That's what it's about. It's about me saying, I see you, I celebrate you, and you can do with your hair in Small Size Locs what you want to do, a version of that, and that is okay. Even when you make a mistake, girl, you are being you, and you'll just keep improving. It is a metaphor for how we, as melanated females, even males, should be living. Stop being fixed, stop being rigid, stop failing and then giving yourself a hard time and complaining about it. Understand that we're learning, we're not perfect, the hair's not perfect. So I hope this reaches someone who needs to hear this. I need you to know there's many like you. It's just that we're private. There's many like you. It's easy to contact me, and when you contact me, you will understand. If you choose to isolate yourself, that's fine. But if you want to, you're part of a really great community, and you will always know that arms wide open, you are not alone.